you would never think that Madlib would be like, yo, K, you're the man, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when he met K, he was like, yo, like, they were drinking wine in the backstage, and, like, they were just, like, talking about how dope the music is and, like, what record changed their perceptions. And, you know, just, like, it's just crazy to see, like, greatness talk to each other and, like, conversate about how great each other are without
sure.
talking about themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Welcome to This Broken Mixtape, the podcast that rewinds and presses play on the soundtrack to your life. I'm Jeff Wu.
And I'm Justin Lee.
Louis-Philippe Celestin, otherwise known as Lou Phelps, is a Montreal rapper and producer. Hip-hop heads first took notice in 2011 when Phelps and his older brother, producer Kaytranada, released their first album as the Celestics. Since then, the Haitian-Canadian brothers have gone on to pursue their own solo careers. We talked to Lou about his latest album, Love Me, the time Madlib compared Kaytranada to the late J Dilla, and the Montreal hip-hop scene.
This week on the show, we have Montreal biggest rapper, Lou Phelps. Welcome to the show, Lou.
Thank you.
So I guess and I don't know how you feel about this, but a lot of people know you from the fact that you are Kaytranada's younger brother.
Yeah.
But, you must get sick of hearing that because obviously you want to, be treated as an artist in your own right. It seems like in every sort of blog that I've read, that's like the first thing they mention. And I guess it's context, but how do you feel about that?
I mean, I used to not like it at some point, but now I'm like over it because it's like the music speaks for itself. So I'm not touched by it in any type of way. I can't go away from the truth. The truth, it's in the books, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin's my brother, and we make music together, and, And obviously the blogs are going to talk about it because Kaytra is, like, this big producer and, critically acclaimed producer, critically acclaimed albums and all that. So, I mean, it's only right that they talk about it for sure. They have to find something interesting about me to talk about. Because if it's just the music, they're just going to be like, all right, another rapper. Mm-hmm. It kind of adds something special to my my craft, I think. Because they look at me like, okay, well, if he's Kaytranada's brother, he has to be outstanding. It's like a gift and a curse at some point, Like, they listen to it and they're like, the beats are dope and, like, you're dope and all that, but you're just Kaytranada's brother. Mm-hmm. Any press is good press, technically, but,
right.
Yeah, man, I'm not fazed by it, though. I'm good.
But, I mean, technically, you guys kind of came up at the same time because, you were a duo, those Celestics. I mean, maybe you could tell us a story, but it seemed like you guys were both kind of pursuing your own solo thing while still working together. But, his focus was on production. Yours was emceeing. I'm wondering how, you recorded 2 mixtapes, right? Together as a duo?
Yeah, we did 2 mixtapes. And, we started off as like, we just made music for fun, like literally for fun. And then at some point, Kay was like always on the computer making beats, and I was like studying, focused on school and all that. But he wasn't having it. He was just like always on beats, and like that's why he's so good at what he does, Yeah. And then we made the first mixtape, Massively Massive, and then after that, Kay started putting out his own mixtapes and his own like beat tapes and all that, and from that grew the fame and like the If remix and all of his big remixes or whatever. And then he had to take a step back, at some point. He had to like step away from what we were doing so that he could grow by himself,
right?
Which is very normal. I didn't understand it at first. I was like, what's going on? Like, why are you not down with me or whatever? And he's like, you know, you'll get it someday. And then, yeah. Now I think I'm old enough to understand. Like, well, I understood it like years ago, but now I'm old enough to understand that, you know, he needed to do this to be where he's at right now. Yeah. So it's all for the good. It's all for the good.
You know, you guys have been working together for a long time, and you know, obviously, with your more recent stuff, you've been working with other producers. First off, like, how is it working with your brother? And I don't mean that as like Kaytranada, like the critically acclaimed producer, but just someone who you've known all your life and who knows you better than anyone else.
It's like, so technically me and Kay are like 2 years apart, but I feel like all my life he's been like my twin. So like we always understood each other on every aspect of anything.
Right.
So like for literally anything. So for music, it was like effortless. He would say like, "Oh, you should do this," and I would understand like as soon as he would say that, and I'm like, "Oh, right, let me try it." And then I try it, and it sounds perfect. And then I would say like, "Oh, try to make a beat that sounds like this," and you know, it's just like us, like a great chemistry, pretty much. And then, yeah, pretty much, it's just like great chemistry. But now it's like more not like he's more focused on his own craft, so like he doesn't really have time to work on like have studio sessions with me. So he just gives me beats, and I rap on the ones that I want to rap, and then that's pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then with working with other producers, I mean, you don't have any sort of set rapport right from the get-go. So sort of developing that, has that been a challenge? How have you been able to sort of navigate all that?
Well, it's kind of hard with other producers because when you think about it, they don't understand what's going on in your brain. So basically they send you stuff that you used to like at some point.
Right.
So like if at some point I was going through like a trap era, they would send me only trap beats. And they're like, "Oh, I think you'd like this." But it's like, first of all, K, in my opinion, and I'm not being biased, but K is like one of the best producers that ever lived, right? So I'm like, first of all, you have to step it up at that point. And then you want to give me beats, but that sound exactly like every single beat that is out right now. And you think that that will match with my sound, which doesn't match at all. So I'm like, you have to find that pocket where you're comfortable with someone to tell, like you're comfortable enough with a producer or anybody to tell them that it doesn't sound the way you want it to sound. And once you got that down, you know, then you could work. If you feel like, because for example, Planet Giza, I don't even have to tell them anything because they just understand, they do their own thing and it sounds different. So that's why I'm like, that's why they're on like most of my album, the Love Me album. But yeah, they have a different sound. They just like, I don't know, it just sounds different, and that's why I want to work with them so much. And then they have and then there's like what's his name, Romderful. Romderful's amazing. He's like, his beats are like just like it's good feelings and all that. I don't know, man. It's just like it's hard for producers when they send me beats to like relate to the beat,
Right.
because I don't know the story. I don't know how to feel about it. You know, it depends on the mood. It really depends on the mood. Yeah, that's how I work. I'm like a moody person. Like if I feel like I want to rap about like fucking Trump or whatever, I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna try to find a beat that sounds like, you know, some old school type of, you know. But then some days I want to rap about something happy and like, you know, something fun or whatever.
Right.
So it's very complicated. It's like really like you have to be there at the right time at the right moment.
Sure, yeah.
And then you get it done.
Well, let's talk about your new album, Love Me. So I understand that your sister kind of had a lot of input in terms of getting you to sort of move beyond your comfort zone and talk about things that you never really talked about in your songs lyrically, you know, just kind of speaking on your emotions. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was going through like a really tough breakup, and then I was like really depressed or whatever. And then my sister was like trying to motivate me to like just like live life and be like, you know, it's just a little phase or whatever. And then she came in my room and I have this big whiteboard where I could write some stuff, and then she wrote, talk about your emotions, like say what you feel and stuff like that. because I have like and on that board I have like artists I want to work with, or like collaborations and what I should do, like, you know, to-do lists and shit like that. So so yeah, man, she just came in my room and she wrote talk about your emotions and say what you feel. And then I did that. Well, I tried like one track, and I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. It's like, it's not that bad to have a soft look, you know? I feel like I don't want to be like political about it, but it's like, not political, but, you know, I don't want to have that approach, but like, I feel like black men don't really, or like colored men don't really want to speak about their feelings.
Right.
And I feel like it's important to, like, for somebody to just like say what they feel, man. It's like, it's not bad to have feelings, you know. It's not, you're not necessarily gay or whatever if you have feelings. And even if you're gay, like, you're allowed to, you know, say what you feel, you know. You're allowed to do whatever you want. So that's the approach I have about life in general. So yeah.
I think that's why people connect with hip hop so much, and particularly men, is because you know, I think MCs will talk about things that they normally will not talk to their peers about for whatever reason, whether it's like, you know, they're afraid of being judged or whatever. But once you sort of put, you know, those thoughts into lyrics and actually record them and people hear it, something resonates, you know? And I think, like, I mean, long before Drake, I'm going to use Drake as an example, simply because I remember, like, when he first came out, people were kind of calling him like the emo rapper. Yeah. Which seems silly because, I mean, any great art, I think you're going to be talking about your feelings to a certain extent, right? Yeah. It's weird that that people would sort of pigeonhole certain rappers and call them emo just because they're talking about what's real, what's in the thoughts. Man. Yeah.
It's like, it's sad, but that's just the way society is, man. We got to change that in some type of way.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I know you're Haitian, and I got to play this clip for you and see what you think. There's this, I don't know if you've heard of this guy. Okay, so you know what this is, right?
Yeah, Haiti Baby, yeah.
Yeah, so basically there's this guy freestyled Haiti Baby on this LA radio station, and the clip went viral because, I mean, you know, I'll let our listeners judge, but it is definitely unique, for lack of better words, but I mean, let's just play.
Yeah. Real 92.3 shit. Bootleg Cat, DJ Head.
Hi, hi, hi. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. I woke up top the mountain like a dragon. I was feeling real high. Feeling like I'm off the alcohol. I know I'm feeling tipsy. I'm a fucking bitch. It's just empty. I'm another bit of cool. I'ma cut up in a dream for the cool. I'ma pull up with the rook. Shh, quiet. And he goes shoot you. But a rock and a bullet get hot, hot. I was thinking on a motherfucking black. I was thinking on a box selling crack. You want to follow me? You want to believe in me? You want to chase your dreams? You want to go to the sky? I know you feeling high. I'm so damn amazing. You thought I was fucking blazing. Shh, ha 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 ha. I'm walking up, bitch, I'm a dragon. My pants tagging. I feel like Haitian Bin Laden, but I'm in Latin. I might ride on my fucking carpet. Shh, shh, shh. This shit is retarded, you know that I started. Shh, quiet.
We'll post this on the website, but basically, like this, I have two thoughts when I first saw this, and I only came across it because of Jesus and Mero, like we're talking about it. One, at least, here's what's going through my head. At least it's not like everything else that I've heard before. Yeah. I can honestly say it's one of a kind. I don't quite know what it is, and I'm still thinking about it. Like, it's been, I think it came up like, you know, it was posted maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it's still like every day I'm still thinking about it because it's so interesting. Yeah. Again, lack of better words, but what are your thoughts on this guy?
I think it's like innovative at some point.
Yeah.
It's like a very innovative freestyle. If you would put this on a track, the track would probably like, it's like Young Thug inspired, I think.
For sure.
I feel like it's Young Thug inspired, but
there's definitely like sort of a theatrical.
That's some Haitian stuff though. That's like you could tell he's Haitian just by like the cadence of the way he says things and like the the I don't know, the feel of the energy. You know, it's like fearless. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
that's why I'm like, I vibe with it.
yeah.
It's definitely like whatever. Like he doesn't say anything in a freestyle, to be honest.
Right.
But you could tell that this guy's like passionate about what he does, so that's why I respect it mostly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of this clip is just I don't know the guy's name, but the guy to his right.
Yeah, he's
just
like
his
shook.
face is incredible. He's just like, what's happening right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the part where he's like, I could even just do my ad libs and
Right.
it would sound dope or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing his ad libs, and I'm like, damn, it actually sounds dope. If you add some like reverb, I think I heard somebody put a auto tune and reverb on the acapella,
Right.
and then it sounded like not bad actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it would be a nice track, honestly.
Yeah.
It would be a nice track, but not a.
Well, I mean, when it comes to like Haitian rappers, I mean, the only ones that really come to mind are like, you know, Praz and Wyclef,
Wyclef,
right? And obviously there's more that like,
Yeah.
but I mean, who are some people that you,
Who's
Are
dope
into-
Haitian?
yeah.
Haitian rappers. Oh man, I don't know. There isn't that many. I'm trying to think. I think what's his name? The Leave Me Alone guy.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he's Asian.
Okay.
He says in one of his lines, "Haitien." So I'm like, all right, he's Asian. But that's the only one I can think of right now. Probably like, I think most of them have some like Haitian in them, but they don't know.
Right.
Atlanta rappers have a lot of like. There's a lot of Haitians in Atlanta. There's a lot of Haitians in New York and New Orleans. Everywhere.
And obviously Montreal, big
Yeah,
Haitian community.
We're like cockroaches, man. We're like everywhere, bro. I tell you.
Let's talk a little bit of Montreal, specifically the hip hop scene there, because Montreal has obviously a thriving music culture and scene, but hip hop isn't something that gets talked about as much as, you know, as indie rock and electronic music.
Yeah.
Tell us about you know, the scene and where you see it going, where it's at right now, and
Well-
maybe some notable MCs.
Montreal is making noise in the French rap scene. So like the radio is gonna play a radio friendly French rap song, but they'll never play they'll never play my stuff because I'm English. Well, because I rap in English. I'm French, but I don't rap in French. So I don't know, man. Montreal and Quebec in general is like really Canada in general. Of course, there's like Toronto and Vancouver that are like more hip to what's actually going on and what the world is actually listening to, and you guys want to make money, so you're gonna please the crowd. But the laws in Quebec and actually the laws in Quebec in general are horrible at like for musicians that want to pursue international career, because let's be honest, English is like the most universal language, and nobody really listens to music in French. So if you want to be a French artist and if you only speak French, you're kind of limited to like Switzerland, Belgium, France, and Quebec, or Africa.
Right.
So that's your market. But if you're international, I mean, if you speak English, like, or if you rap in English, you're like literally like worldwide. So that's something I understood when I was a child. Literally, when I was a child, I was like, I don't want to rap in French. I want to rap in English, because if anybody's gonna listen to my music, it's gonna be in English. Because I don't hear I don't listen to French rappers. I'm French, and I don't even listen to French rappers. you
Yeah.
know?
I remember growing up watching Rap City. They'd play like a French
Really?
rapper. Yeah. Like I remember, I mean, you must have heard of Dub Matique.
Yeah.
You know, guys like that. Who else was there? There was like a handful of guys, and they were like,
yeah,
these guys are like dope, but they didn't get enough like radio play.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is with Quebec in general, they'll wait until you're really, really popping until they put your song on the radio. So like, even if like for example, my brother is like kind of popping. I don't know if you guys play Chance the Rapper on the radio. Or, too much.
Certain stations might play a little bit, yeah. But
yeah, so K produced All Night, right?
yeah.
You would think that Quebec would play All Night
Right.
on the radio. I heard it once.
Wow.
Only once.
And then maybe only on like campus radio.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, campus radio plays my stuff, and they play like everything. But like the mainstream radio, like forget about it. You
Yeah.
know?
I almost feel like because like who even listens to radio anymore, right? I feel like it's only
People that drive, bro.
people that drive, but also like people that really music isn't a priority for them, right? So they just want to be fed something. It's just easier that way, right?
Yeah.
Whereas people that actually care about music will, actually seek it and they'll listen to satellite radio or they'll listen to online radio stations.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's sad that true music lovers have to go outside of what the radio gives them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you live in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like Canada really supports hip hop as much as they do other genres.
Like, they like The Weeknd and they like Drake.
Right. Anything that has a Drake cosign, they'll jump on it. But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't care about the up and coming. And, well, I think we kind of diverged from what the actual question was.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, Montreal has a dope scene, man. Who, like, I don't know too many rappers. I know my people. I know, like, Zach Zoya's pretty good. Maki Lavender is pretty good. There's me. There's Nate Husser. Who else? Chris the Spirit. There's like a bunch of people that are dope. Tony Stone is probably one of the best coming up. I think he's probably the next one that's gonna like make a lot of noise out of Montreal. But yeah, man. Like we have a couple people that are dope, but at the same time, it's like we're so close minded. Like we don't really want to explore different type of sounds and like we wouldn't dare to try like to sing on a track, like actually try to sing or actually try to make like use drums, like actual drums and like some funky stuff or whatever. So that's why I'm like, everybody wants to do trap, everybody wants to do like the rapper stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm like in between like Montreal's scene. I'm like not really like on it because it's like always the same thing. Nobody's innovating really. So
Right.
but I don't want to talk shit about, it's not like I'm talking shit about Montreal. I'm
For
just
sure,
saying, like,
for sure. But
we
I
need
mean,
to innovate.
Even beyond Montreal, just how like hip hop is right now. I mean, that's why anything that sounds like remotely different, I welcome, because at least it's not the exact same like trap beat that's been recycled over and over again.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, I don't want to do the trap stuff. I'm not into that. Like, I get the whole Toronto scene. I get the whole like trap scene in general. But I feel like this is gonna die out and like the real lyricists are gonna pop up again. You know, I feel like it's always a cycle.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like at
You're
some
starting
point,
to notice that a
everybody's
lot
like,
right
all
now.
right, we're done with this bullshit. Like, we want to listen to some real action.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, there's like guys like fucking Lil Nas X that put out fucking 1 minute songs,
Right.
that make millions.
Yeah.
So it's like it's really like a gamble when you think about it. But if you follow your creativity and you decide to do, like, if you dare yourself to do other stuff, that's when your work actually prevails, I think. And that's where I think I'm doing good right now. It's because, for example, August Rain is like a track I would have never even tried to do. But like it sounds so different and like inspired by Neptunes and
Sure.
just that type of vibe. I want to do that. It's like I want to explore different types of, because it's like a subgenre of rap technically. So that's what I just want to explore different subgenres. I already did the trap era. I already did the funny rapper era. It's just like I want to do some different things now.
Earlier, you alluded to producers and other artists that you would like to work with. Can you name some of those?
Definitely Pharrell, Anderson .Paak. Schoolboy Q is like one of my favorite rappers. Kendrick, obviously. Madlib. I got some Madlib beats. I just got some Madlib beats recently, so something might be coming out.
How did that come about?
The Madlib beats?
Yeah.
Madlib's like, I've met Madlib a couple of times, and he's like really a chill guy. And I've told him like he told me he doesn't want to work with big artists.
Sure.
He wants to work with smaller artists that don't get too much exposure or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, if you want to send me some beats, let me know. But that was like months ago, like or maybe years ago, like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then my manager is good friends with his manager. And then I was looking for new beats for my next album or whatever. And then they just said like, yeah, I'll give you a batch of like I'll just give you a batch of beats. And then they gave me like 5 CDs of beats or
Wow.
30 beats, like 30 beats per CDs and shit like that. So
Okay. Wow.
I got a whole lot of bullets. You know,
Yeah.
a whole lot of bullets. But
Yeah.
who else do I want to work with? I want to work with like Tame Impala. I want to work with like Mark Ronson. Just like a bunch of people. Just have like a different perspective on music.
Yeah.
Like not just rap. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
Gold Link's one of my homies. I want to work with him too. Amine also. Yeah, man. Just anybody that wants to work with me, I'm down. I got some stuff in the works too, with like people. I don't know if I could say the names yet, but yeah, I got some stuff in the works. Jazz. We went to the studio. I went to the studio with Jazz Cartier again.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Nice. Excited about it.
Yeah.
So let's rewind here and talk a little bit about your upbringing and specifically the kind of music that was being played around the house. So what kind of music was your parents, for instance, playing?
My parents, well, my mom used to play like church music, only church music. My dad, he used to be a taxi driver, and then he used to work at night. So right before going to work, he would shower and all that, and then blast some compas, which is like the Haitian traditional music. It sounds amazing, but when I was younger, I didn't really like it.
Right.
But like he used to blast that every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like it was too loud, way too loud, but it was good.
Yeah.
Bob Marley was played a lot. What's his name? Billie Holiday,
Okay.
Louis Armstrong, just a bunch of like jazz compa, and my sisters used to listen to hip hop. Yeah, man.
Do you remember like one of the first albums that you ever bought?
The first album I ever bought was In My Mind by Pharrell.
Okay.
I remember I got $20 for my birthday.
Yeah.
First $20, walked to HMV, and then I was like, I want that CD, and then I bought it. It was $25, but I bought it still.
And I imagine you were already onto the Neptune's production and his
Yeah,
features
I mean,
and stuff. Yeah.
I honestly really just liked his style so much.
Yeah.
I was like, I love the way he dresses. So I'm gonna listen to the album. Well, I already knew some of his stuff. Like obviously, I knew like Front End and like all like the classics. And I was like, all right, let me get In My Mind.
Yeah.
I listened to it and I was like, all right, this is amazing.
It's wild how Pharrell is still not just relevant, but still kind of pushing music today. Because I was watching just before you guys got here, I was watching this round table that he was doing the weekend of his festival, and so it was on the panel was like him, Timbaland, Chad Hugo, Teddy Riley, and who's the fifth guy? Pusha T.
Yeah.
And for the first like 10 minutes, it's just Timbaland and Pharrell going back and forth, gushing about each other's music. And like Pharrell would be like, I wish I made this Timbaland beat. And Timbaland would be like, oh, I wish I made this Pharrell beat. And it's just so much fun watching them like geek over each other.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like, it's really weird, but like for example, like you would never think that Madlib would be like, yo, K, you're the man, But, like when he met K, he was like, yo, like they were drinking wine in the backstage and like they were just like talking about how dope the music is and like what record changed their perceptions and just like it's just crazy to see like greatness talk to each other and like conversate about how great each other are without talking about themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
especially with that generation gap.
Yeah,
Because I mean, Madlib, like I'm much older than you guys, and Madlib to me has always been a hero. Like Dilla, Madlib, Premier, and guys like that.
And they would always say like, "Oh, if Dilla was still alive, he would love you." So
absolutely.
It's like it's like you hear this and you're like, "Damn!" Like, it's just like touching at some point. Yeah.
How about what was your first concert? Do you remember that?
Jay-Z.
Oh wow.
Or what I think. Okay, first First major concert I went to was Jay-Z at the Bell Center. But first concert that I went to was Ryan Leslie. The family bought me a ticket, and then we went.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was a big Ryan Leslie fan at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jay-Z was probably the one that.
What tour was that?
The Blueprint 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Blueprint 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you go with your brother, or were you
with the whole family?
Oh wow,
the whole family.
Yeah.
Everybody's a fan of Jay-Z.
Your parents were into it too?
Oh no, not my parents.
Okay.
Just like my sisters and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the best concert I went to. No, it wasn't the best concert, but it was like a great experience for a first
sure.
concert.
Yeah.
When you think about it, yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about your latest music video for Word.
Mm-hmm.
So in the video, for anyone who hasn't seen it, you recreate some, some pretty seminal album covers. So the Fugees' The Score, Biggie's Greatest Hits, Michael Jackson's Thriller. I was wondering, watching it, was it because they were logistically feasible to pull off, to recreate, or are these records actually some of your favorite records?
Yeah, The Score, I like. The Score is like, when you think about it, it's like a Haitian type of
Absolutely
album.
Yeah.
But because when I was young, I didn't really care about who was a Haitian or not. But it's like when you're older, you realize that, like, oh shit, like fucking Pras and Wyclef are Haitian, and you listen to the album and it's so good. Mm-hmm. It's so good. How we came up with the idea, me and Igal, basically we spoke about. Igal showed me this book. It's called Contact High, and it's basically the best shots of like iconic hip hop shots, and like the whole roll, like of all the pictures that they took for the shots.
Okay.
And then he was like, "What if we do that, but we recreate our own shots?" Yeah. So at some point he wanted to do the Far Side scene, like like the drop video. Yeah. He wanted me to do that. He wanted me to do like a Slick Rick. Well, I did the Slick Rick joint, but he wanted me to make it look more obvious. He wanted me to do a bunch of shit, but we didn't have time. Right. We only had 2 days to shoot the video. Right. It was a really like low budget video. Like we had like fucking $500 to shoot it. Mm-hmm. And just like we took the easiest ones to do. Obviously, like the Drake one was like easy as hell, like a black hoodie, and you aim at we tried to do the Starboy Weekend. Okay. Yeah. It didn't work. It didn't really work. But we tried the Childish Gambino one. I don't know if you saw it. Because the internet. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. It's in there. It's in there too. Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of good albums in there. Mm-hmm. It's all albums that I like. It's not like I'm not gonna do an album that I hate, or whatever. Right. Like a Soulja Boy album or some shit. Yeah, so that was the idea of it. Nice.
And obviously, music videos, like the visual element of your music, plays a huge role. How do you, is it very collaborative in conceptualizing these ideas, or how does that come about? Do you come up with the idea and then you talk to the director and
for the videos? Yeah. It depends. The Word video was more of the director that came up with the idea, but the Come Inside video was not all me, mostly me, and then Chris, the director, gave his input. He was like, "We should try to do this. We should try to do that." A talk show. I don't know. I didn't know where he came up with the talk show. I was like, "Why would you want to do a talk show when the idea was literally, all right, so I ordered this incense and I'm crying." And then the incense gets me high and I see the girl and she shoots me and she kills me. That was the idea. Okay. And he was like, "Oh, like you could do a talk show." And I'm like, "What the, like, where does that come from?" And then, it came out, it came out perfect. And I won an award actually for it. Right. Yeah. The Gala Dynasty, which is like it's like a NAACP award for Montreal or Quebec or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of proud of that. Yeah. But yeah, man, like just good vibes and fucking just working with the right people that understand your vision is the best thing. So that's what I did. Same thing for Miss Fatty. Same thing for all of my videos, technically. But the only video I didn't have an input was like Word and Squeeze.
Okay.
Yeah. Squeeze was just like, all right, come to Miami and shoot the video with us. And, all right, cool, let's do it. Yeah. So that's what it was.
Okay. So that's almost time for us. But, before you go, I want to ask you, what are your top 5 records that are still in heavy rotation all these years? Just something that you regularly go back to and can listen to, like, throughout from first track to the very end.
The Love Below album is one of the best, in my opinion.
You like it more than Speaker Box?
Yeah.
I find that like people are always kind of divided on that, and for me, it's always The Love Below.
Yeah. I feel like Speaker Box is just like another rap album,
right?
In my opinion.
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, King Cruel, O's. It's really good. Like it's not like rap or whatever. It's just like every time I go on a plane, I listen to that album.
Okay.
Like I have to listen to the album. It calms me down. I'm
right.
like, I want to sleep, and it's just like it's like one of my favorite albums. And then Dial-It by Playboi Carti.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Carti.
Nice.
Very big fan of Carti. Like, you don't think about it, but Carti has like a very meticulous touch about about the way he raps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Hey, my pleasure.
And hope the tour goes well.
Yeah. Thank you.
You've been listening to Season 3, Episode 11 of This Broken Mixtape with rapper and producer Lou Phelps. If you haven't already, visit thisbrokenmixtape.com to check out this episode's Spotify playlist. There you'll find all of our past interviews for each show. If you enjoyed this episode, please take the time to subscribe, rate, and share our podcast wherever you're tuning into us today. Also, if you have any comments, feedback, or ideas for guests, feel free to drop us a line through our website, Instagram, or Twitter. You can find all our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, and Spotify. As always, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Cheers.